Hello, Shangam second grade readers. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, and today we are going to continue learning about how to manage these longer books that we're reading right now. And today we're going to focus on what to do when books get tricky and what to do when we get distracted. That never happens to anybody, right? No, of course not. It happens to me all the time. How many of you are reading a book or watching a TV show? I talked about this the other day a little bit, where all of a sudden you're like, what am I going to have for lunch? I wonder what my friend's doing. Did I make my bed today? You just start thinking about different things, or you remember a funny joke or whatever, and the next thing you know, you have no idea what you just read or what you just watched. So what do we do when that happens to us? And I'm going to show you what to do today. So here we go. I'm going to shrink myself. And I'm gone. And we're going to come over here. And I'm going to start our show. Ta-da! So keeping track of longer books. Yesterday I said it's really important to ask somebody for help. Try to find somebody in your class who might, or in second grade or maybe even third grade, somebody that you know that's reading the same book as you are. It's a great person to go to. Your partner is your secret weapon. They can help you understand what's happening. You can talk through things together. And just remember, talking about a book helps you remember what's going on. It's a great way, at the end of the day, maybe as you're having dinner with your family, discuss what you read, and all of those things help you keep track of these longer books. We also talked about yesterday determining what's important. What are the major events? Don't get lost on all those itty-bitty details. Just think about what is the most important things that have happened so far. And you want to be thinking about the problem or problems that the character or characters are facing and how they're dealing with it. Now, today I want to talk about what happens when you get off track. The first thing you have to do is you have to stop. Maybe do a little breathing. Maybe rub your temples or whatever. Do a walk or lap around your house or whatever to refocus. But you're going to stop, and then you have to reread what you just were reading so that you can soak it up and absorb it. But I also want you to answer some questions, and I'm going to show you those next. These questions, you can consider them your reading emergency kit. You're going to go to them or your partner or somebody else in your house. And these are what I call stop and think questions. When you get off track, or maybe if you're confused in your book, you want to refer back to these questions. And also, as we're reading harder books, it's important that we are trying to make connections as to what happened earlier in the book. So that is your very first question. What happened earlier in the book? Try to make a connection and remember back to what was going on. If you remember in Dory Phantasmagory, in that first chapter, we're introduced to her and her siblings, and that she is babyish, she's annoying to her older siblings, and her older siblings create the character of Mrs. Gobblecracker to try and scare her. Then you're going to say, what is happening now? And I'll share chapter 2 with you in just a second. But I want you to think about, at the end of that chapter, what was happening, right? Then how does this connect with what I already read? Now, these are great questions for after you've read at least 2 or 3 chapters. Then what is the problem? We know the problem that is that Dory is annoying, or rascal as they call her. What is the solution? Well, so far the sibling's solution was to create this imaginary character to scare her out of being a baby, but that solution isn't working. And then what is the lesson or the idea of the book? We talked about this the other day. Authors are always having some sort of lesson. The characters are going to learn something. Right now, I would say at the end of chapter 1 of Dory, the lesson that Dory's older siblings learned is that sometimes things don't go according to plan, right? And you can actually make a situation worse instead of better. Now, today, as you're reading, I want you to be aware of your own focus, right? You should have made a plan of where you're going to stop. You should have used Post-it notes to keep track of what's happening at the end of a chapter. Maybe touch base with a friend, tell them about your book or your family. That's so important. And then also determining what are the most important pieces of the book. We don't want our book overflowing with Post-its. I know in my class in the beginning of the year, as we first introduced using Post-its in the books, so many kids had their books exploding with Post-its everywhere. Way too many. And then some kids didn't really have many Post-its in their book at all. We want to find that happy medium. And I think that happy medium is if we stop the end of every chapter and take a look at what we've done so far. Now, I am going to attempt to read chapter 2 to you. Hopefully I have enough time on here, so I'm going to blow up my screen. Yay! And here's chapter 2. Did you hear the doorbell ring? That's the name of the chapter. Okay. The next morning, I warned Mary. Mrs. Gobblecracker is 507 years old and has black teeth that are sharp like needles. Oh, sharp like needles. Is that a simile or a metaphor? And her pockets are full of dirty tissues. And she could be on her way over here right now. So don't act like a baby. I've never seen a monster so scared. And there's Mary squeezing Rascal, saying, "Too tight." When I hear the doorbell, I run downstairs. Did you hear the doorbell ring? Nope, I didn't hear anything. Okay, I'll get it, I say. Look who it is. So now the question we need to be asking ourselves right now is Mrs. Gobblecracker really real? Or is this still all part of Dory's imagination? We don't know yet, right? Ah! She's here! I run and hide under my parents' bed. There's something warm and furry under the bed. Someone is already hiding under this bed. It's Mary. I'll jump out and scare her when she least expects it. Have you seen my cape? I whisper. Mary reaches behind her and hands me my cape, all wrinkled up in a ball. She always takes my things and doesn't return them. I'm going to battle, I tell her as I put on my cape. Can I help? Nope, too dangerous. Then, as fast as I can, I run into Luke's room to look for his darts. But when I hear footsteps coming closer, I dive into his closet to hide. It's dark and warm and kind of smelly. Actually, I'm very happy in the closet. So I decide to stay. Days and days go by. Probably. I can hear my family saying, "Where's Rascal?" "They'll never find me," I giggle. The footsteps again. Oh no! She's going to find me! The closet door opens. It's just boring old Luke. "Rascal, what the heck are you doing in here?" he asks me. "Leave me alone!" I scream. I am so angry that he ruined my hiding spot. "Don't find me! Don't find me!" I shout. "Don't find me!" Then I kick and bang and throw some things. I cry so hard the room looks blurry and upside down. Too noisy. I need a break. After I'm done crying, I feel all better. "Can I borrow a dart?" I ask, Luke drying my tears. "You're nuts," he says, and walks away, which I think means yes. I take the dart and run. In the hallway, I run into Mary. She is pointing and jumping up and down. Mrs. Gobblecracker went downstairs. She's in the living room. "What are you going to do?" she yells. "I'm going to shoot her with this special sleeping dart. It will make her sleep for 100 years. "Wow," says Mary. "That's a good idea." "Don't follow me," I warn her. Just in case. There she is, just sitting there. I hold my dart ready to shoot across the room. Ready? 1, 2. Wait a minute. What did Violet just say? "I'm the mommy and you are the daddy," says Violet. Are they playing house? I stop my battle. I drop my dart. "I want to play house." "Now we just need a baby," says Violet. "Baby? Did somebody say baby? I can be the baby!" My sister and brother look at me very carefully, trying to decide. I show them my cutest baby face. "Goo," I say. "Goo moo gaggy boo goo." Says Luke. "Well," says Violet. Says Luke. "I have a better idea," says Violet, grabbing Cherry. "Cherry can be the baby." "Great idea," says Luke. "She's much quieter." "And cuter," says Violet. Oh, silly old baby Cherry, I think. Using my scariest voice, I clench my teeth and warn her. "Just wait. One day I'll get you." As I walk away, I hold my head up high and think, I don't have time to play anyway. I'm way too busy. But what was I so busy doing? I can't remember. Do you see that? Even Rascal gets distracted and has to go back and think. Are you going back to think? Uh-oh. I know. I was in the middle of something. Mary to the rescue. She throws a banana peel down. When I get back to my room, I snuggle in bed with my bunny. Then Mary comes in with my dart. "Oh yeah," I say. "I was just about to shoot Mrs. Shh. Did you hear that?" Creaky sounds are coming from the stairs. Even the upstairs hallway monster is scared and wants to hide out in my room. We peek out and see Mrs. Gobblecracker looking angrier than before. It's time for me to be the brave one. 3, 2, 1, I whisper. And then jump out and shoot my dart right in the butt. Where is that little girl? Mrs. Gobblecracker stumbles around. She is walking into the wall. Her knees are bending. Her eyes are closing. She collapses. "I'll find that girl when I wake up," she mumbles. And then she is sound asleep. Oh my. I have to tell Luke and Violet. They should know that I shot Mrs. Gobblecracker because I was so quick and tricky and I had such good aim. They should know that no baby could do what I did. They should know. I run to the living room and jump right up on Violet's lap. I cup my hands around her ear. I whisper my secret. Mrs. Gobblecracker is asleep in the upstairs hallway. I shot her with my sleeping dart. I'm dead serious. "Mom, Rascal is bothering us," calls Violet, pushing me off her lap. "What is she doing?" calls my mother from the kitchen. "She's spitting in my ear." "No, I'm not. I'm telling you a secret," I shout. But before my mother comes in the room, I run away as fast as I can. As I'm dashing up the stairs, I hear my mom say, "Where did Rascal come up with this crazy Mrs. Gobblecracker game?" I stop to listen. "I have no idea," says Violet. "How would we know?" said Luke. Then I run down the hallway to my room, being careful not to trip on the body lying on the floor. So, I want you to think about this chapter. A lot of stuff happened. make your own